everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be doing another art haul, mini art haul this time. My audio for this video is not the best, so I decided to do a voiceover. So I got a couple things at Hobby Lobby and the bookstore. So the first items here is another plein air magazine. This one is from September 2022. And I was pretty much mentioning how I didn't realize that these were monthly subscription magazines and they're so high quality. I was fortunate enough to get a discount because of the bent page at the front. But I really enjoy these plein air magazines. They're very informative. You get to learn so much from other artists, so check them out. Another book that I got at the bargain section at Barnes and Nobles was The Anatomy for Artists, and I was really impressed with this book by Jennifer Crouch. She does a good job at representing all body types, all skin types, young and old. Most especially, I was impressed with body sizing representation. So you can see here that she has different size models and she shows how to shade, how to create shape and form, stretch marks. She does an excellent job at illustrating that. So that's The Anatomy for Artists. So to get started with the Hobby Lobby haul, I got a couple things that I also do not need because I have so much of, but why not? I was taking my mom shopping and I figured might as well make a couple purchases myself. So the first item that I pull out are Thanksgiving sort of dessert plates. And I thought this would be perfect for watercolor palettes. They're flat, especially when you're just using 3 or less colors. Sometimes you just want to use something small, and it's perfect. Ceramic, any type of ceramic plate would work really well for watercolor. So that's that. And I had 2 more, and I think I paid about $3 for them because they were on clearance. So I unpacked my bag and I'm just getting things organized. But the first item that I purchased was inks. Acrylic inks are very opaque and saturated. I at first purchased them when I first got my first round of collection, I should say. I didn't think that I would like them. I feel that way about almost every art material, but I really enjoyed these inks from Hobby Lobby. The brand Amsterdam, they're really good to use with your calligraphy brushes or any type of acrylic brushes. They act just as paint would, just a little thinned out. You can use a calligraphy pen if you need to, but I really enjoy the opacity and how far they go with the color. So one little dot can, cover so much of your surface area. And here I was mentioning I have 2 types of blues. I have the ultramarine and the cyan blue. And I always think it's really important to have 2 colors of the same hue. So a lighter blue and a darker blue. You create different shades in skies, such as water. You can create more of a darker blue with whites. yeah, so just test it out. And even with every color in your palette, I feel. So you'll see that I also got a yellow and I think, burnt sienna. So the yellow that I got is, I believe, Naples yellow. And I originally had the super bright light yellow, or Hansa yellow. So the Hansa yellow makes very bright, vibrant colors, whereas the Naples yellow neutralizes things, and that's really important when you're trying to not make things look too vibrant. So I strongly recommend to, if you're creating a palette of any sort, whether it's inks, watercolors, pens, whatever you have, try to at least have two types of colors of each of those hues. So the next item on the list are these Pentel pens, and I've been interested in trying drawings with just ink pen. I know Jess Carp, another YouTuber, she does a lot of ink drawing pens, and I do think it takes a very skilled eye to be able to draw anything with just an ink pen without like ruining it or um, trying to erase. So I'm interested in testing these out. I have already tried all these art supplies, and I can say that they're amazing pens. So the next item on the list I purchased was a greeting card watercolor cardstock, and these were from Hobby Lobby, of course. The art haul is Hobby Lobby, and they were only $7.99. The paper quality is, however, not the best quality. I would say they're pretty good, but low grade quality. They didn't mention the type of paper it was. Um, I noticed that the paper was folded the wrong way. So the way it's folded now, it's the smooth side on the outside and the tooth or grit side on the inside. So you want to be mindful of noticing those things when you get paper. So if I were to use this, I will definitely have to flip it over to paint on the grit side, because it seems to be cold pressed paper. However, the factory may have folded the sheets incorrectly. And I did notice that in the image they had the grit side facing up, so that's how I was able to tell that they were folded incorrectly. And I also tested these out, and so far so good. I will probably create some holiday cards with those. So the next purchase on the list are these Posca paint pens, and I purchased individual colors in my last art haul. I intended to pick colors that were landscape based. So taking a look at the colors that I selected compared to the art pack that I bought, I'm glad to see that I do not have any duplicate colors other than white, but white is a highly used color, so it works out. I'm super excited to try out these new colors. I I actually have tried some of them, and I really love that fluorescent pink, which I tend to use a lot in my figure paintings. Poscas are very exciting. The next purchase was another set of bamboo calligraphy brushes, and I absolutely love these brushes. They're super cheap, very affordable. That pack was about $4.99. And Blick, they're a little bit more pricey, but these ones I use a lot. I have a good amount of them. However, there's a collection in Blick that is even better, and I'll talk about that in another video. But here I'm demonstrating the quality of the Hobby Lobby calligraphy bamboo brush. So they're pretty soft, easy to work with. However, I did notice that when over wetting or over using water, they tend to fall apart. Um, so the brush glue that is keeping the hair attached tends to water down, and this tends to happen. So you can either crazy glue it back together or just be mindful when you're using that particular brush. I haven't fixed that brush at all, and it still works perfectly fine. The next item on the list is a brush pen. Another format of an ink pen. So I've seen these being used. I actually never noticed how similar they are to the water brush pen, which I've already created an ink form of this pen. So what I did was use that water brush that I'm holding in my hand, and I added some Higgins ink into the well, into the tube, and it works just exactly the same for less money. Not to say that that pen is any expensive, because it was only $7. But if you want to keep on reusing ink, you can definitely get the Higgins ink with the water brush pen, and it creates the same effect. So yeah, that's my art haul. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Is a short one, so stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching.